Yeah. Mm. I don't really have much to say, but I did want to say that I dropped a new podcast episode. I dropped a new podcast episode yesterday under my Unbound Visionary segment of my publication. And I'm still trying to figure out. I did my monthly review last a couple of days ago. Because I'm just balancing consistency and just showing up for myself. Like, because I've been on the internet for so long, not even like I'm not like I've been visible on the internet, but because I've been engaging with the internet for so long, there's this thing of just like wanting to show up for other people. And I don't care to show up for other people. But I do care. That's not true. I want to be impactful. I want to be impactful. Um, but there is a commitment that I have to my artistry, my creative practice, and Substack, and everything that you see here is an extension, an expression of my creative practice, which is me showing up for myself, being the person that I know myself to be. And I'm hoping that people can take something from that in my journeys and whatever I share. I'm a very emotional person. I feel a lot of things. I think a lot of thoughts, and it doesn't serve me to sit on all those things, especially like years and years go by, and I keep looking at myself and my potential, and I'm like, so we're just gonna sit on all these things, like we're not gonna do nothing with none of this. So, I'm just like being the person that I say that I am so I can be known for the things that I want to be known for. Writing, performing, filmmaking, really bottom line storyteller. Um, I consider myself like a modern day griot, which if you don't know what a griot is, griots were oral storytellers. I've come to know them through the West African tradition, but more than just West Africa have griots. And honestly, oral storytelling is not something that is just native to Africa. It's like quite literally every culture around the world, before there were books, before there were written word, we had voice, we had frequency, we had vibration, we had words, and we had stories. Stories were lessons, stories were how people understood natural phenomenon, how they explained science and math and all those things before we knew what those things came to be. So every culture throughout the world, whether you're Romanian or whether you are from Tanzania, whether you are indigenous to the Turtle Island, everybody has a component of oral storytelling because that's how we preserve tradition. And I feel so deeply connected to that. And I believe that's one of my roles here is to be a storyteller, to express, to speak, to think, and to be. And I want to fulfill that role of mine. So anything you see here in Substack is me fulfilling that. So, yeah, so I dropped my official podcast episode about being heart forward and making friends in your 30s. And it is I'm interested to know how people interact with it and engage with it because there's no fanfare. There's no music. It's just point blank me just expressing out loud. It's definitely hello. It's definitely more of like a voice diary of sorts. But I believe that that was a perfect introduction to a podcast because that is who I am. And so I also didn't want to do the whole fanfare of like the music, the intros, and all these things because I, just wanted to stop paralysis because I'm one person working on things. I could get stuck in a lot of decisions. And I didn't want to like create something that I would obsess over. And I always say that like your visions don't tell you when they happen and how they happen. And sometimes your vision it doesn't get executed on that first day. And so I have an idea of what I want my podcast to be, but I know that where I'm at in my life financially, mentally, capacity wise, and emotionally, may not necessarily have the time to, or the access, or the knowledge, or the tools to be able to create the thing that I want to create it in the way I see it in my mind. But I also am not going to let that stop me from starting somewhere. Like that vision won't happen if I don't start somewhere. So my first podcast episode for the Unbound Visionary is definitely like stripped down. It's just me not hiding behind anything. It's just pure, like not even an introduction. Just me, just purely just speaking and expressing something that has come up for me. And all the episodes won't be like this. My intention is to interview people. I love interviewing people. I don't know if that's a documentary filmmaker in me, or that goes back to the griotness that I talk about, being an oral storyteller. Like I love connecting with people and having conversations with them. So I have every intention to I have like a list of people on my wall that I would like to sit in conversation with and understand themselves and who they are in their artistry. And but I just wanted to start somewhere. Um and that's what that episode was. So I'm interested to see what people take from it. If people can get through it, is it too Piscean? Like, but I didn't want to have disclaimers and over explain things. But and it's also a slow podcast, which something I was talking about earlier is that because I've been on the internet for so long and I see people just like commit to these posting schedules, which posting schedules create trust, which I understand. But I also I'm healing myself from just showing up on the internet for others and for the sake of this comfort creator thing that happens, which I have people who, I'm excited to see them drop a YouTube vlog because I'm like, oh wow, like I know this person every Thursday is going to be here at 10 a.m. Like that's a good feeling. Like that's how we build trust and relationships in our lives. However, that doesn't work for me. And it's taken me 10 years to understand that about myself. So I am intending and hoping to build trust in another way, in a way that allows me to still feel nourished in my own creativity. And I'm just going to focus on Substack and the podcast being an expression of my artistry as opposed to proving to people that I can show up consistently. And just hoping that people can connect with what I have when I have it and they look forward to it when it does come, so yeah, I've just had to decide a way that works for me, which scares me because that's not what we've learned on the internet the last few years, or I speak for myself that I've learned that you show up same time every week, every day, and that quite and large and literally does not work for me. And so I'm just learning to embrace that for myself. So it's a slow podcast, or I like to call it a divinely guided uploading schedule, which it doesn't come when you need it, but it comes right on time. So that is kind of like that's just that, and that allows me to, because a lot of the creating and things that I do, I get a lot of my inspiration from something bigger than me. And that something that which is bigger than me is not on no posting schedule. So I'm not even about to come on nobody's internet talking about I'm gonna be here at the same time every week. Like that's not fun for me personally. And I think that takes away from my artistic expression in the way it is now. It may change one day. I may appreciate that. But I think because for so long I've been trying to show up on the internet the way other people have, that I haven't embraced how I wanted to show up and by and large how I wanted to express myself, because all of this is just an extension of my work. And yeah, so I'm it's not perfect. Let me stop. Let me not even do all that. Let me not even do all that. Let me not even do all. I'm just excited. So yes, I dropped a podcast episode a couple days ago, or no, yesterday. Yesterday was also my birthday. So I just thought that was very apt. I thought that was very apt, very timely. It was something that I'm feeling, and I'm just excited to see where it goes from there. So I just hopped on there to be like, hey y'all, I'm sharing this piece of myself with you all. And just see where it goes from there. Like, I'm just allowing it to be what it needs to be. And that's what a solo podcast is. Like, not showing up knowing everything, but just having intention to show up. So, yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the Unbound Visionary podcast with Phae Williams. That's me. That's me. Also, I did my hair, y'all. I finally finished my hair. I finished my hair. I did my nails for my birthday. Don't look too close because one of them are cracking. Listen, I did my whole birthday looks for $17. I spent all this money. I spent all the money in the hair. I did my hair myself. My mom helped me part it and then I did my nails for free $3.99 because we had the nail polish at the house. So yeah. So that's all I wanted to come on here and talk about. A whole lot of new. A whole lot of new. So here's to me, here's to us showing up. Not perfect. Not exactly in the way that we saw in our mind, but just starting somewhere. I'm wanting and needing to be better. So yeah. But all right. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to share. And I just appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all for coming through. Make sure you check out the Unbound Visionary podcast. Again, this first episode is very just cutthroat, just bare, just raw. No fanfare, no introductions, no da 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 da. It's like a voice diary of sorts. And so interested to hearing your thoughts. Bye.